to have those kingdom conversations.
Thank you, and welcome to Kingdom Conversations with Dr. Shirley and Leandra, where each week, through the grace of God, we hope to inspire women to thrive in their purpose-driven lives through lessons learned and a whole lot of wisdom.
Welcome, everyone, back to Kingdom Conversations. I'm Dr. Shirley.
And I'm Leandra Williams. And this week we are here with a new episode, and we're going to be speaking about love. As you can see, we're both in red. Happy Valentine's Day to you ladies out there. I hope you're having a special day so far. But we are here to bring some special good tips, tricks, love doctors. And we're going to be talking about those marriage tips and how to keep things fun and frisky and exciting.
She said frisky. What's going on in your marriage, Miss Lily?
Hey. Get it right, get it tight.
That's why she's been with her man for 17 years, okay?
Amen. And we still love all on each other. So I'm very, very, very proud of that and grateful.
Yes, absolutely. One thing I love and admire about Miss Lily, and like the reason why our friendship just works, like we are so intentional. So in every aspect of our lives, whether it's self-love, whether it's our relationships, whether it's our work, career, like we are intentional with our marriages too. Like we be checking up on our husbands, like, you still happy? Yes? No? Yeah. Well, you're stuck with me.
Yes? No? I better not get a no.
I know. You better say you're happy.
Say you're happy. No.
Blink once if you feel unsafe.
Yeah. No, we're not sending any help. But it's definitely about being intentional. That was the key word right there. It's about progressing with your relationship and loving on each other every second and every moment that you get, but allowing each other space at the same time. But today is the day of love. So we were just like, I think we need to talk about some marriage tips and how to keep things fun. So
and honestly, it will even be a great segue into next episode. I'm already saying that we're going to talk about marriages. I thought it would be later on, but since we're living our best lives in our marriages, I think it'll be
we want to see you thrive too.
A great transition. Listen, like I said, I grew up with a single mom, so I really didn't know what husband and wife relationship looked like, right? I just had this idea of wanting to be happy, right? And then I learned later on in life, okay, don't make someone else responsible for your own happiness. You have to be happy within yourself. But then I just also learned if I can be so successful in my career and all these other things, these, awards that I'm getting, well, why can't I be successful in my marriage? They should go equally. And to be honest, my marriage is really up here. My career is here, to be honest. I take my marriage very seriously. My family, that's my first ministry. So if one can be successful, the other one has to be successful. What do we do? And I've learned over the years, I only have control over myself, right? And it really that kind of dives into this conversation, because regardless of how your spouse, partner reacts to you, always do nice things. Always try to find ways to keep the love going, to keep the sizzle going. Try to find ways, spice things up. Listen, it might come on a deaf ear. Oopsie daisy.
But your intent and your intentionalness is there. And it doesn't, it might go on a deaf ear, but I think reflecting on it is just kind of oh, my boo did this, or, oh, she does still love me. Or, just kind of letting them know, I made time for you. Right? I put aside time for you because you're important to me.
Yeah. And what I'm learning too is literally learning. Gosh, I'm so late. Like 17 years
She
later.
said literally learning, literally
So
still
late
learning.
on this. What I like, I'm just learning about love languages, right? Like today o'clock. I'm so I'm so late. Learning about love languages. And I'm thinking like I'm very well, my love language is like physical touch, right? So like I'm very touchy feely, really annoying and obnoxious with it. And so that's what I did to my husband. Like, I'm expressing my love for you. So I'm going to kiss you and I'm going to hug you and I'm going to tell you I love you. And I don't just say, like, love you, bye. I'm like, look in your eyes. I love you. I need you to know.
You look into my eyes and you see what I say, what I said it. I totally get it.
But I'm like, that doesn't work with him. He doesn't see me as like putting him as a priority and putting him first. And I'm like, do you know how much I love you? Do you know how much of a pedestal I put you on? But he wasn't receiving it because he has a different language. The Bible says, I think it's like the third commandment. Actually, I don't know which commandment, but it's a commandment. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. I heard it from, I don't know if it was Dr. Phil or Joyce Meyer, but I actually learned like you got to take that an extra step, right? Instead of loving your neighbor as you love yourself, you need to love that person the way they want to be loved, right?
Yes.
So respect, treat that person the way they want it, not how you think they want it or how you want it. You got to treat them the way they want it so that they can receive it and it clicks for them. And they're like, wow, this person really does love me. This person really is putting me as a priority. So listen, again, I just learned that at today o'clock. But I'm being very intentional since like the beginning of this year. Very intentional. Like I'm journaling like, oh, you gonna feel this love. You gonna know I love you, okay? There's gonna be no question.
I love that. I love that you still want to keep doing that. And I love that you want to keep improvising and recreating your love and recreating that spark. And that's what keeps it all fun. Yeah. That's what keeps it going because you're just like, all right, let's do this. Let's do that. Because as we know each other and grow with each other, we're still evolving into somebody new. And 100%. We're working on ourselves. So we have to keep recreating that wheel kind of to some degree to keep that spark going.
Yeah.
I love love. I've always been a sucker for love. I love to just, my love language is like acts of service, or I like,
same thing with my husband.
Surprises. I like surprises. I like people doing things for me. I like if you just like pop up and you like leave a little cute note on my door and like put flowers all over the place. And my husband's like, that's so corny. You're not in 7th grade. And I'm like,
and so it naturally doesn't come to him to think about that. He thinks it's corny, but that's your everything. So he wasn't even thinking about that. It didn't even run through his mind.
That is something that he would be like, why would I do that? That's corny. And I think that's seriously, that is a conversation you need to have with your loved one. You need to say, listen, what makes you feel like I love you? Because me, I will be like, I will make you breakfast in bed. I will do this. I will show up and like go get you a little goodie bag and pop up at your job. And like, he'll be like, what are you doing here?
Security. Who let you in the building?
And my husband, he is like the touchy. He wants the quality time. He likes one time. He loves that.
It's really funny. You guys
are identical.
We're identical. Like, and it's scary how identical I am with Leandra's husband. Like, I'll say something and she's like, literally look at the text message that Charlie just sent me. Like, this is exactly
I'm like, have
what
you
he
been
just
talking
said.
to my husband?
I'm
And
like,
then
I know, she
says
thinks
the
we have
same
like
thing.
secret conversations.
And then she says the same thing about me and her husband. So
Yes.
it almost helps us both out that like
It
we
does.
can talk to each other.
It helps us
and,
to
like, She can
understand.
give me pointers. I give her some pointers.
Yes.
And it kind of like we blend that all in because at the
Mhm.
end of the day, opposites will always attract.
Opposites
So we
always
do
attract. I am
complement
with
each
my
other.
soulmate.
Yeah.
I am not supposed to
Absolutely.
be with Charlie Williams. There is nothing wrong with Charlie
no, and I am
Williams.
definitely not supposed to be
He
with
is a
Peter
great man,
Connect.
but
That's my brother. We
Right.
love each other. We all love each other.
Yeah.
But we each love our spouses, which is incredible. Our marriage, it's evolving even still more so. We had my husband and I had an incredible year of growing and learning and
Yeah.
getting past certain things that now we can kind of evolve in other ways.
Mhm.
And that happens in 17 years. You can catch up with me another time on that. But nonetheless, I feel like the fun is always there. Like having
Yes.
fun with our spouse is there. And like having these moments where they're like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. And not that you need a holiday, ladies. You don't need
No.
a holiday. But
It
those
should
days
be
kind of help
ongoing.
where you
yeah.
can, it should be ongoing. It should definitely be
It really
ongoing.
should be ongoing. Like, listen,
Yeah.
we gonna have to break out this massage oil kind of on a weekly basis. If it could be daily, awesome. But I got kids. They be knocking on our door. Can we chill with you? What you mean? Can we chill with you? this is grown folk time. Ain't
Do
it
not
your bedtime?
disturb. Put that don't disturb on there. You know, I know that I have 3. Shirley has 2.
Miss Nyla don't let you do nothing. She
So
can.
you have to get
She
creative.
knows you're having fun. She
Yep.
coming.
She be in there. I know that it's just like, it's like if they even hear the music is too loud or something, they just like, they're already suspecting something. They're like, what are they doing in there? You know, it's like, what's going on? And so, and you know, it's like, you can't always be like, all right, after the kids are in bed, like sometimes you have to do it during day hours, go
Day
out, have
hours
fun,
while the kids are
do
at
some-
school.
Kids are at school, date nights with you guys, or
Yes.
just like spontaneous. Like, don't let that fun and excitement and thrill like kind of deter
Mhm.
you now because you're been with your spouse for too long, or maybe you're in a new relationship and you're already doing all that. So take these tips because you will need them later on down the road, girl, when
Yeah.
when you have the children come in and when you got other things and priorities that you have to be taken care of.
Now, we do have to be honest. Sometimes we actually do need a routine. As much as we would like to be fun, it's like my brain is on routine. I know your brain is on routine because like we've got the job during the day, then whatever
Yeah.
baked goods we have to pick up for the kids' bake sale. I know you have lunch with your children in the middle of the day. Then we got to come home and it's dinner and we do these things like we're a partner, right? It's not like I'm barefoot and pregnant. Like,
Yes.
no, my husband can cook. He can cook and he can clean and he does all of that. But I love to help him and make him feel like the king as well. And so we got to do that. Then we got to help with the homework. And by the time you done, I learned this from my doctor. Like men use a blue pill for Viagra to get up, right? Women to get up, it's our pillow and our bed and our blanket. This is what puts me in the mood and puts me to sleep too. I'm so tired.
Yes.
Like it's just not on our brains like that. And so sometimes like you might even have to schedule in. Like you might have to schedule in.
Let me know
It
so
would
I
be
can time
awesome
block.
if you can be spontaneous, but if you don't schedule in and you keep telling your husband, I'm tired, 1 week of non-intimacy will turn into 6 months. And that's
Yeah.
just unacceptable. So
Yeah.
when we say being intentional and prioritizing, if you got to put it in your calendar and maybe just put a heart on the calendar and like not write like, date night or whatever, like whatever you've got to put to remind yourself to make your marriage a priority, do it. And then if you can be spontaneous too, awesome. But do not put off your spouse because you are just opening room for Don't do it. Don't do it. Temptation. Let me tell you something. I remember back in the day when we used to watch those shows and we're like, I'm going to test my man. Okay. I'm going to put this pretty girl in front of him and see if he cheat on me. Listen. Okay. The devil is cunning. All right. He knows the recipe for disaster. I'm telling you, all this. Listen, I don't physically see the devil. I don't see horns or anything, but I see his strategy. So this is exactly what happens. Okay. You and your spouse get into a fight, and then your spouse leaves to go and cool himself off, right? Now, he doesn't wake up wanting to cheat on you. No. But what happens is he goes and cools off, and then some woman with a kill me quick dress comes in and says, hey there, handsome. How you doing? And then he just starts to, kind of unload like, oh, I'm just chilling, da-da-da. She's like, oh my God, you are such a good man. Oh, your wife does not deserve you. You are so amazing. You are so handsome. And all the nice things. All the nice things. And then temptation comes. When was the last time your wife said a compliment? When was the last time your wife, rubbed your back? When was the last time you and your wife had some intimacy? And that's unfortunately sometimes when cheating. And there's different, ingredients and recipes for why people, step out on their marriage or betray their spouse or whatever. But whatever you can do to try to prevent that is awesome. It is our duty, ladies, to be able to please and satisfy our husbands and vice versa, okay? And when it's vice versa, it's a good thing, okay? It's a good thing.
It's a fun time. It's a fun time. I know that I was asking my husband, I was like, so we have our podcast coming up and I want to know, I want to ask questions on what men like, what men don't like. And and he was like, are you going to write down my answers? And I was like, well, yeah. And he's like, well, are you going to I said, do you want me to go on Google or ask somebody else? Or can I ask you? And he was like, all right, so I'll answer some of your questions. Uh-huh. And I know that Shirley and we were talking about all right, what's something that ladies, you need to make sure that you're doing. Okay. And I think foreplay was on the list. Foreplay was on the list of things to do. Yes. You got to make sure you're buttering that bread, get it ready. Gotta, get into it. And I know that Shirley and I were talking because we were talking about how comfortable women are with certain situations. Yes. And we're like, well, I think it has a lot to do with the connection. So this isn't just about intimacy or love language. It has to do with your connection with your spouse as well. Mm-hmm. It has to do with the way that you guys are comfortable with each other. How comfortable are you and how into it are you? Yes, it really is. That's a whole nother level. It's a chemistry.
I'll tell you this though. You say chemistry, my husband and I had zero chemistry, okay? My husband and I
that's because you were ordained, met each other and married.
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Him and I, we didn't even really date. He courted me and everything, but it was we just knew we were supposed to be married and we dated each other in the marriage, right? That's kind of really what happened. And so we didn't have any chemistry, but today, you can't tell me nothing about my husband. Oh my God, he is just beautiful and chocolate and caramel and you can't tell me nothing about my husband. I don't care who you are ugly compared to my husband, okay?
I know. I am the same way about my husband. I tell him all the time, I'm like, you could have this chiseled looking whatever, and I'm like, it's all right. Yeah, it's just it's not about their exterior. It's about everything. It's about what you've been through. It's about how they love you. It's about the connection. It's about all of that makes them so sexy and appealing. Yeah. That is what attracts me to my husband.
Exactly.
And I love my husband because he's just kind of he's a manly man. And I love that he's a manly man. I'm like, I don't want you being all pretty boy.
My husband is a manly man too, but he's also Martha Stewart secretly. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
My husband went through the Liberian Civil War, okay? I'm not here to tell my husband's story because that's his story, but he went through a lot, right? That was his trauma, literally going through a civil war, seeing people getting killed and all of that death surrounding you. fleeing from your country to this country, like on political asylum. Like, he went through a lot. He is the manliest of mans. He is going to save us when, you know, zombie apocalypse comes. Like, he's going to save us. But yes, he will also pick out a nice curtain. And
he has his feminine side, but he's a manly man.
He is,
and that is complete opposite with Charlie. If he is even washing the daggone dishes, he will do the dishes. He's not happy about doing those daggone dishes. He is like, why am I here doing these dishes? It's making my hands soft. Like, he wants to be a man. He wants to be a man. And that's what I love about my husband, because he's a great protector, and he's very protective of his family. Yeah. Very possessive, very protective. Yeah. And so I asked him about the foreplay. I said, babe, now we have foreplay. Like, I don't even know how you can't, but
I feel like it's a requirement. Okay.
It is, but
and foreplay looks different to everybody, right? It might be a massage. It might be some edibles. It might be some toys. It looks different to everybody. You do what works for you. Okay. But I feel it's a requirement. Yes.
He said it's very important, Shirley. He said it's very important. That was his answer. I said, is that a yes, no, maybe, da-da-da-da-da? He said it's very important. He said, men want to explore. I said, ooh, babe, that's a good word. I was like, that's good.
I love it when my husband explores.
I said, okay, so
let's go to the Amazon today.
We are monkeying around up in here. And I said to him, what about talking in bed, babe? What is like talking in bed? And he said, talking's fun. And I said, all right, so talking's fun, ladies. Don't get all shy. I mean, you don't need to put on a whole skit and like put on a show. Don't get
If you want to get a pole, that's cool. You don't have to get a pole. I don't really have that upper body strength.
My husband won't let me get a pole. He won't let me get a pole in the bedroom. One day, though, I will have a pole in the bedroom.
And you would think that's every man's dream, right? Like, oh, you're going to bring a stripper pole into the bedroom.
He's very conservative with the kids, though. So I'm a little bit wild, and he's more like, babe, the kids are up. And I'm just like,
he really is. He's so he loved them kids. He loved them kids.
I know. He's very conservative with the kids. So I don't get to have a pole. I would tell them that's my exercise. You know, like I would be like, this is my workout. This is my exercise.
This is how mommy stays in shape. To drag you everywhere, school and practice. Yes. Well, mommy, if that's how you stay in shape, can I try it?
I asked him about role playing. I don't know if you role play, Shirley. Do you role play?
Not at all.
But
I've never tried it either. I feel like that wouldn't.
Were you talking to him again? He said, I don't know. Have we ever done that? And I said, no. And he goes, so I don't know. I don't role play.
Actually, now that I think about it, we might have done headmaster and
What is a headmaster? What is that?
She's like master of head.
Is that a mask?
No, headmaster, like of a school, like the principal of a school.
Oh, because you like to be a schoolgirl. So that's not really role playing for you. You a schoolgirl.
What I can assume. Headmaster, I need a good grade.
So we have role played with playing with Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So that's usually if we're role playing.
Thank God this is an adult podcast. You done ruined it for every child out there.
Oh, that's right.
She said Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Ooh.
Mr. and Mrs. Claus is like, I have my little Santa outfit. So
yes, Santa baby.
Yeah. So,
oh my gosh. To be honest, right? Like when I was younger and had some energy, I thought like I was more experimental and let's try some things. And then, as we were talking about like health and my hips and my knees, that experimenting.
I need a back brace for this position.
Listen, if a position is going to cause me to snap my neck, I don't want to do it, okay?
Yeah,
but I
don't
am
be
flexible. Your
uncomfortable,
girl is
ladies.
flexible. So we have tried, and I'm like, if this hurts, it ain't working. But we try to be we try to experiment more, but like honestly, my husband initiated that, and I just thank God he did. I didn't know what to do. I went to the doctor. I was like, Doc, I'm not in the mood. Like, what's I was like, is there a Viagra for women? I'm like, I'm just not in the mood. And it's not that I'm not attracted to my husband. Like, I'm just tired. And that's when she told me about like men, most men. Let me not, generalize all men, but like most men, right? Like they see a pretty woman or they see their wife and, they can have an erection. But like with women, we don't get an erection. There
Yeah.
is no blood flow to one certain thing. It's the pillow and a blanket and your bed. Like that
comfort,
turns me
yeah.
on. Okay. But like my husband just started like, playing around with me. And I was like, ooh, this is new. Okay. I like this. All right, let's try this. And it has just been phenomenal. Okay. Like listen, I might not put a pole. I might get a swing up in my bedroom though.
Not the swing.
I might
See, now
just
how
put a
you gonna
swing.
explain the swing?
Woo!
I can explain the pole. I don't know how you plan on explaining the swing.
Like kids, it's the same thing. You go to a park, you're on a swing. Like
Then you gonna see your kids on the swing.
yeah. But he's
So I
just
think
been...
it's important to just, this is fun. That's fun. That's fun. So the fun, like let's add the fun in it. I know it's too much of a project sometimes. You can't be swinging every night or whatever. You can't be pole dancing.
And I mean, swing, like swing from, the park, not swinging with other couples. No, we don't do that. Okay? No.
I'm not talking about that swing.
I was
But
like,
it's
I
about
have to be
just
clear.
like adding. Yes, go to the sex store. Go to, go have fun. Go run out somewhere real quick. Make it spontaneous.
Yes.
But it's Valentine's Day night, ladies. Get your lingerie on. Make
part.
yourself feel good. We are
It
women.
does make you feel good.
We
Ooh,
are
to be in some sexy
women.
lingerie that compliments you, like, yeah,
I
it
know.
does make you feel good. Put
and
them
when you're
heels
confident
on.
in yourself, your man can see that, and he is really turned on by that. He wants to see you confident. It's don't worry about like, oh, I'm a little bloated or this or that. It's like, girl, but act like you ain't bloated and just
sometimes you do
like,
have to fake it. Like I know some women who are just really insecure. They want to be intimate in the dark, lights off, or they're wearing like a big t-shirt to like hide their body. No. Listen, this may be the time you need to fake it till you make it. Like fake it. Your man is with you for a reason, okay? He can literally go on like a dating app and just be swiping, okay? If he's with you for a reason, he thinks you are beautiful. That's one thing I'm so grateful for with my husband. He'll just be like, you look beautiful. You gave birth to my children. I don't see you as fat. And I'm like, I wish I had your eyes. Like, I really, really do.
Yeah.
He makes me feel so beautiful.
I love that. I love the compliments, the recognizing, the seeing past all that, right? Because we tear ourselves apart as women.
We really do. Yeah.
We really, really tear ourselves apart. And I feel like you're being too hard on yourself because you are not. If you saw Shirley in person, you would be like, girl, I don't know why I thought you were way bigger than what you are, but you are tiny. But she even got these little legs. I don't even know what she's talking about, but it's about the compliment.
That teenage body dysmorphia just, man, it just goes with you. My husband's like, Shirley, when I met you, you had a six-pack. I was like, I had a six-pack. I thought I was overweight. Like, what are you talking about?
It's definitely, our bodies change, but they change for good reason. But it's just about our marriage, ladies. Let's, I say this to Shirley. I've said this before. We are powerhouses. We are women of God. We wear so many hats, and I get all of that. But anybody can pick up and take our job. Anybody can fill our shoes
Yeah.
at work. Nobody can be a wife to your husband.
Nope.
And nobody can be a mom to your children. So
Correct.
prioritize that relationship.
Yes,
this is
it
about
has to be.
love. This is
It
about the
has to
covenant
be.
under God. And this is natural for us to be feeling. If you're not feeling that way, figure it out, because we want your love to thrive. And that's
Mhm.
definitely part of it. And you need to connect with your spouse. Connecting with
Yes.
your spouse is so important. And
So
it will
important.
change your whole game. You'll
And
be
if you
showing up a
haven't
whole new
done
woman
that
if you
yet,
let that. Mm.
if you haven't done that yet, start today. Like, yeah, it might be comfortable. It might be awkward, but stop lying to your spouse. Stop moaning and groaning when you know you haven't really had an orgasm. Like, stop it. Stop it. Because
Yes,
you're just
please.
going to continue to be unhappy with your, with your sex life. You're just going to continue to be unhappy because he
Yeah.
thinks he's pleasing you. You're not being pleased. You have to have an honest conversation. You have to kind of like play around, experiment, like, oh, I like this. No, I don't like this. This makes me feel uncomfortable. This is ticklish. Ooh, but I
Yeah.
love the way this makes me feel. You have to experiment, find out what works for you. I think like growing up, you would always watch those TV shows like, oh, once you get married, then the sex stops, right? And I was like, man, that's no way to live. That is no way to live, at least weekly. At least weekly, okay? If we can do daily and a couple times a day, oh, awesome. You are hitting it out the park. But at least weekly. And when it's good for you, it doesn't feel like a chore. It feels amazing.
No.
Like if you can go and get that massage,
Right.
that facial, that pedicure, all that stuff makes you feel good. Trust me, you will run to your bedroom. When it feels good.
I think Shirley wants
you
a
will
massage tonight. I think she done mentioned massage like
run. A couple times, right?
20 times. At least 20 times. I counted 20 times. When I do my girl math, I counted 20 times. But she wants a massage.
I love it. Peter, where you at?
man.
Where you at?
Peter! You better call on Tyrone like that.
Oh my gosh. You should have even seen me last night. Oh my gosh. I came out the shower. I put on like a little top and then I crawled over him to get to my side of the bed. And he was like, really? Can you make it any more obvious? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm just trying to get to my side of the bed. He's like, you walk around the bed and get to your side. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just minding my own business. And he was
And then you roll over on your side and you poke your butt out and you're just like,
he's
I'm
like,
going
I
to
thought you were
sleep."
going to bed. I am going to bed. Can't you see me? I'm going to bed.
Women, we are sensual women. We're sexual women. You have it in you. I know you do.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and have a great night. Let's have fun. Let's bring the love back in our marriage. Let's bring the
Yes.
love back into our everyday. This is the perfect time to just press that restart button. Have fun
Absolutely.
with your spouse. Get out there, have a good time, and remind him real quick of why you got with all this.
Yes. And had children multiple times. I must have been doing something right. Okay. All right.
Amen.
There you go. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. I can't believe we go there, but I just feel like some conversations need to be had. And because you and I, the intentional ladies, that should be our names. The intentional ladies, we are very intentional about living our best lives and being cheerleaders. That if I'm living my best life, I need to share that recipe with you. Does it work for you?
Correct.
Exactly? No, it may not, but at least I'm giving you some ideas, get the juices flowing so that you can think of what works for you. But I can't be the only one in a happy marriage. Like I can't. I want everyone to be in a happy marriage, okay? Like just in love with love, right? Experimenting together, not just in bed, but like my husband and I are considering like dance lessons, right? Like just
I love that. That's
right,
so cute.
Right?
Yes.
I got the whole like Dirty Dancing scene like pictured in my head. Like, yes, honey, I'm gonna
Yes.
run and you're gonna pick me up. I had the time of my life. Like, that's what I want. No one puts Shirley in a corner. But you know,
I love it.
we just want to share these things, have those uncomfortable conversations, just so like you can think outside of the box, really and truly like stretch yourself, do things you normally wouldn't do, because you might just uncover this is the thing for you.
Yeah.
This it was what
and you're
makes
gonna be
me
so
happy.
happy. You're gonna be like,
Yeah.
oh, that was good. That was
That was
fun."
good. Let's do that again.
So
Let's
we're
pencil
just
that in for
spreading the
Thursday.
love. I think we're spreading the love. We're gonna give you some love juice, ladies, and you're gonna get it, and you're gonna have it, and you're gonna have a great time. And I can feel it in my bones. So
Yes, absolutely. And let it not be a one-time thing. Let's be intentional. Make it, we'll start off weekly and then we'll increase to daily. And sometimes twice a day too.
all right,
Okay.
that sounds good. It sounds like we got some medicine going, Dr. Love. We love you
This has
guys. You
been
have an
awesome.
amazing, amazing day. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you. We hope that you feel the love as well. And make sure that you put that smile on, put your thing on, get it on, girl.
Yes. Thank you so much. We'll tune in for next week. Have a lovely day.